Hey guys, what's up? It's coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides Witch and today, I don't know, man, I can't believe I woke up later than I've woke up, like, ever. But we're still gonna be, it's still like the same time out the door, but the glory days were when I woke up and I actually, was calm and chill and had time to do stuff. Like those were the glory days. Just for a very short period of time in the morning. That's how it was. So I just realized a way to probably test the light. Yeah, that's what it was. No, I think I figured it out. Anyways. Yeah, from yesterday it was silly, but at least I know now. I don't know, man. It just seems so, the interacting with this world. I actually feel very tired this morning, which is kind of weird because, you know, I don't know, I don't usually feel like this, but it is what it is. I actually, for the past 2 nights now, have been getting very good REM sleep, which is great. I have been happy to see that, but I don't know that I'm feeling it, but I do believe it because I've been having a lot of dreams. Like last night, it was a dream about, it's actually so confusing because things kept like switching around, but some friend, I went to the mall with a friend, and then, oh yeah, I remember now, kinda. Well, I'm still not gonna be able to remember everything, but it was like I went to the mall with a friend, and for some reason, I really just wanted to sleep over. Like, I don't know why, but I really wanted to sleep over. At the mall. Like, it was really weird. And then, they were open until 11. And I was just gonna sleep, like, on a bench there or something. Like, super weird things. Super duper weird. I don't know what the objective of that was. But that's what I was doing. I was sleeping there. And sorry, I'm just tired and the thoughts are getting in the way of what I want to say. So thoughts are getting in the way of what I want to say. Wow. Oh my gosh. I need to really get a grip, don't I? What's going on? Oh, yes, the dream. Good, I remembered. Now, the problem was I was gonna sleep there. And then I don't really know what happened. Because I guess the friend I was with drove home, but that... And maybe that was part of the plan, but that doesn't really... Obviously in the real world, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Because why would that be the case? You know? In the real world. I don't know why that would ever happen, because it was already like 8 or 9 p.m. So I don't know why we would have coordinated something where, like, it just doesn't make any sense. It's just like, why would I go to sleep at a mall from 8 or 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then have my friend drive all the way back to pick me up? I almost wonder what the symbolism in that dream could be, because I know that's something that kind of weighs on me a lot. Is, to me, it just seems like, and this is probably the case, since a lot of people go based on what they want to do or what they feel like doing, it may not be so blatant, but a lot of people actually do similarly inefficient activities, specifically around carpooling and car usage. You know, like, I think I was actually just talking about this last episode, how, from my understanding of things, using a car, it never stops anybody from doing something. Like, if somebody wants to do something, they're getting in their car and they're going, you know? Whereas with me, that's not the case, because I'm aware of the car. I'm very aware of the car. And how when you use it, it adds miles, it uses gas. We shouldn't really be allowed to use a car for leisure. It's not like a good thing. It's just not. So I think it's interesting that was in the dream, like basically me as the main character or the main proponent of a very inefficient idea. I think it's an interesting thing to put me in that person's shoes. Or it's almost like maybe in the dream I was actually another person. Guess that's possible too. Although I did think I was myself, although felt very different. Very different. And so that happened. And then I wasn't even there for very long before mall security came over and said, "You can't sleep. We don't allow people to sleep here." You know, so it's like, I don't know. Seemed a little weird to me, but whatever. And then this is where I don't really remember a lot of the details of the, like, transition or whatever you want to call it. Because I just don't. I don't really remember what was going on or what was happening. So, but somehow we get from there to, let me think. We get from there to this random, and it must have taken place, I can't say for certain, but I feel like this would have taken place in the same night. But no, that's impossible, because it was definitely like the next day. Somehow now I'm with a different group of friends completely separate from this other friend. So this first friend we were talking about, they don't really know, or they're not close with this other group of friends. You know, they're like separate, right? I think I've made that clear enough. And then they were driving me to a different mall. And then for some reason, the friend from the previous day didn't know that I was at a different mall, because I never texted them for some reason. And then I never texted them for some reason, and yeah, then it was weird, because then I think they drove to the other mall to pick me up, like as if I had been sleeping there. But it's what's weird about that is that still doesn't even make sense, because I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think the plan was ever that anyway. The plan was never. The plan was never for me to sleep overnight. I mean, how would that have even happened? Maybe that was, though. But I remember, like, before we departed, I checked the hours on the other phone. Just to see. And I saw that they closed at 11, so I don't know how that miscommunication happens. But then my friend that went to the wrong mall, the mall that I'm not at anymore, they bought a TV. They bought this like huge 80-something inch TV. And I was kind of like annoyed about that for some reason. I mean, it could have something to do with me being stressed out. I didn't have a way home. Because I think sorry, I said this kind of out of order, but then this group of friends, we did some stuff in the mall for a while. But then I think they eventually just left, and again, I was there to fend for myself. So I guess there's sort of a repeating pattern there with me not liking. And you know what else too? I actually can't really remember if this is the case. It may have been before bed I was thinking to myself about how I feel. I can't remember if this was like around during the dream, after. I don't know. I can't really remember, but I might have had some thought, or it could have been in the dream, that I value my independence and I like to be the person driving, because I guess I don't really trust. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know. Not sure. Not really sure what I'm getting at. Well, no, I know what I'm getting at, but it's like, I guess it's confusing to explain. But yeah, it could have been some thought like that, and then I was just left. In the meantime, too, like the midst of hanging out with the other group of friends, I was checking Discord, and a lot of weird drama had been going on there. Just kind of a additional tidbit for you. I think it was actually completely unrelated friends, too, like an additional stressful group of people. And yeah, I don't know, but there is kind of that common theme, right, of just being left behind, being dependent on others. It's interesting. Very interesting. Sorry. Just had a burst of thought. I'm trying to think of what the takeaway is from this dream. A little bit weird, and I don't really think the ending was clear. I think I woke up. I'm probably forgetting some details, but at least it's somewhat saved. So yeah, definitely a lot of REM. A lot of REM going on. Okay, well that's just... So I thought he'd... people do that a lot. It was a interesting dream, though. Not the best feeling, obviously, but not the worst. But then again, I was caused to wake up late. Well, I mean, technically, yeah, but at the same time. Yeah, and I'm a little frustrated because I have been just waking up later than I should. But I don't do an alarm, so it's probably for the better. Like it, you know, it probably means my body's sleeping appropriately. So there's not really much I should be worried about. Yeah, I don't know. Because at least I have that advantage. I just can't imagine where I would have been if I just slept properly. When I was a teenager, I really wanted to chase not sleeping, and it was just such a... Even when I was older still for a while, it took me a bit to get to where I'm at now, where I truly respect sleep. Because I really thought the only way for me to get ahead would have been to not have to sleep as much as other people. So yeah, I mean, a lot of my potential was squandered because I wasn't sleeping well at all. Barely subsisting, you know. Body probably handled it pretty well, but I don't know if I'd really credit that as meaning anything. Because maybe it didn't, you know, I don't really know. Wow, am I tired. Wow, I just don't know. Well, I don't know how the timing to work. I don't know how that's gonna go. Actually, it could be the same as it. It's probably just gonna be similar to the other 2 days. Yeah, I don't know. Wow, sorry. Another thought flurry. Yeah, some of these episodes, they're too quiet recently, and I don't think that happened before. I think before it was such a new, exciting experiment to even do this that usually when I record or I talk, I just talk a lot. But maybe it's actually still better when it's another human, because I think I inevitably feel more of an imperative to show up when it's a human. Now that's a little bit strange, but well, actually, it's not strange. I mean, I don't know why I'm saying it's a little bit strange, because it's probably not. Yeah, I can't even see. This guy behind me has like some crazy headlights. I don't know. It's like, it basically looks like he has two headlights. Like, instead of just one set of headlight, he has like another. He has his main set of headlights, and then he has beneath them a set of slightly dimmer headlights that are a little bit smaller. And then above that, he's got yellow lights that don't really project. I mean, it's like really... Oh my goodness. Visibility terrible. I don't know why that's even allowed or what the point is. I mean, I know it's probably a truck, but... Yeah, maybe it's like a big... I mean, we'll see. Because it could... Yeah, it's just like a big truck. I guess that makes sense, but... I don't really see why that's necessary. Oh, it's like a trash truck. Yeah, it's a trash truck. I mean, I guess that's necessary. I don't really get it, honestly. I don't know why you would need such high light visibility. I don't know. I mean, maybe because the truck's tall, you'd have to see if you would end up hitting like a sign or something. See, I'm trying to make sense of this thing, and it's entirely possible the builder of the truck just like slapped it on there. You know, just cause. Yeah, it's like another thing I've noticed or observed with people is a lot of things that I think are, you know, very good or, well, no, sorry, that's a terrible way of wording it. A lot of the things I observe that are like, oh, you'd think there'd be a reason or a purpose for that. Oftentimes there just isn't. Like, it's just somebody doing something entirely randomly. I don't know, it's very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating. Wow, this trash truck driver, though, he's really something. He had left his other turn signal on, like, this whole time. And then finally switched it, but, like, it's, like, too late. I don't even... It's crazy. Alright, well, that slowed us down by, I mean, probably 2 minutes. Wow. Yeah, if I had to guess, so I think we're definitely going to end up being later than yesterday now. Although, I also have I'm pretty bad at predicting. Dude, oh my gosh. Pretty bad at predicting at this, like, for some reason the way this actually doesn't even make, no, well. I'm actually pretty bad at predicting the way to work time-wise, whereas the way home I usually have a good grasp on. I wonder why that is. I guess there's a bias in the human brain towards, you know, like coming home time, wanting that to be early versus getting to work time being early. I think those are just not the same thing. I don't know. What do I mean by that? Because it's exciting to come home, but to go to work, it's not. Even though in my case they actually mean the same thing, because the earlier I get to work, the earlier I come home. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Interesting. I mean, hey, if we get good light luck, I think we'll be in luck. But, so yeah, what if that trash truck delay ended up causing us to get like impeccable light luck? That would be pretty cool, wouldn't it, if life just worked out like that? I think it would be. I think it would be super cool. Maybe sometimes life works out that way, but I don't know if it does all or even most of the time, but that would be very cool, because if I do end up with perfect light luck, we can infer that if it wasn't for that trash truck, then I think it's just so hard for me with gifts or doing things for other people, because I know people forget. Sorry, I'm just thinking of something I did for someone sometime, and I know, like, I remember doing it and it was a big deal for me to do it, but then I know they just forget. Like, people make big deals out of things in the moment, but then they forget about it, and then you don't really get recognition or credit in the long term. And I think that is a huge problem for me when it comes to gift giving and to doing things for others. It seems useless. But I remember when people do things for me, and I remember when it's like, it's not like I don't want to do things for other people, but it's hard when a kind gesture gets forgotten. I think but it's only because, for me, the kind gesture does not get forgotten. You know, like, I remember the kind gesture. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, because I feel like that sounds some type of way, but it's like, it's not really trying to, like, I'm not trying to be rude or ungrateful. Like, I'm saying I'm basically that grateful that it causes me to be upset. Causes me to be upset. You know. Because that level is never reached by anybody else. And I think that's an interesting way to think about it, because I don't know that I've processed it like that before. You know? I don't think I have. Just don't think that I have. I don't know. It's an interesting thing to think about, I guess. But yeah, it makes it so I can't, I'm in like a state of paralysis all the time, because it feels like, you know, what people do for me, like, it matters. And if people felt what I felt, I would love to do things for them, but I can tell that people don't remember. And memory is just so important to me, I guess. It causes me to have these problems with others where, you know, it doesn't feel fair. It doesn't feel fair that when somebody does something for me, I'll still remember and think about it. But then when I do something for somebody else, it just seems to not matter and just get. But I mean, that being said, I guess it's not always accurate. I mean, you know, there's times that I forget about things that other people do for me. You know, I guess it's not a super straightforward answer. I'm not really too sure how to accept it. Is that the right way to? I actually would be really happy if I end up making the same time as yesterday, and it's possible, so. Oh, the buffer, dude. Oh, gave me a stress, but I think we got it at like 50. Yeah, wow, 3 days in a row, same time. I don't know if I've actually done that before. Like, I don't know if I've ever actually accomplished that. Wow, well, looks good. It definitely looks good. I like it. Could we make it to a 4th day? Would be nice. Alright, guys. It's been slob, but it's not time to be slob. Just ruined the game for the whole episode now, because whenever I do something loud like that, it messes up the thing, you know? But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, I'm trying to think, is there any... No, I guess it's time to go. Bye, Sly!